Hello everyone, welcome to Tathastu ICS, and in today's session we will be discussing about the important species that were in news month wise. So we will be starting from May onwards, we will be completing all the months, and this series will be specifically useful for the students who are giving the prelims 2026, right? But before moving ahead, you need to remember 2-3 points that are very important. First thing, that I know this section is very troublesome for majority of the students कि आपको इतने सारे species याद करने पड़ते हैं. So you have to understand that there is a limit to the number of species that you can remember, and you need to be very careful with the time that you are having. Along with that, there is a major chunk of the syllabus of the environment section also that needs to be focused or that needs to be dealt upon. Right. So while you are studying about the species or the biodiversity section, you should be very careful keeping in mind the PYQs that have been asked. Okay. So with this initiative, I hope this will be really helpful for all of you. So we will be covering the most important species that were in news month wise, and we will be covering them from all the different sources that are there. Okay. So be it the newspapers, be it the magazines, from everywhere these have been compiled. Okay. And we will be seeing the PYQs also, because all the species that have been chosen are kept in mind after checking the previous year questions. Okay. So let's move ahead with the month of May. So these are all the species that we are covering in the month of May. For example, the first one being the olive ridley turtles, snow leopards, Asiatic lions, then we have the dugongs, great Indian bustard, then we have the Indian grey wolf, then we have the European red admiral butterfly, red crowned turtle, then we also have the calotis, and then we have the Cynophracta. Okay. And also one more thing that you need to focus while studying about the species, whenever you are studying any species, 2 to 3 points need to be focused upon. First upon, why was it news, what was the context, that is the first thing कि आप क्यों पढ़ रहे हैं उस species को. Then the second thing is basic key features, or I would say some unique features that the species is having. Okay, anything that is unique about it, whether it is endemic to India or endemic to any particular region, that needs to be dealt upon. Okay. Then third thing is its diet, or I would say behavioral patterns. Behavioral patterns and diet पे बहुत questions UPSC is putting right in the past few years we can see. So these are some of the important points that you need to focus while studying about the species, and along with that any important protected area where you are finding that particular species, along with that the protection status. Okay. So these are the 5 points I would say that you need to focus upon while studying about any of the species that you are studying. Protection status matlab you will study about its IUCN status, Wildlife Protection Act, which schedule it is coming, CITES, which appendix it is coming. Okay. And if it is related to CMS Bonn Convention, then you will study about the CMS convention also. Okay. So these are the things. Let's start with the first one. So the first one is the olive ridley turtles. तो ये क्यों न्यूज में थे? Because Indian Coast Guard ने एक initiative launch किया, that is Operation Olivia, for protecting the ICG protects over 6.98 lakh olive ridley turtles along the Odisha coastline by the Operation Olivia. Olivia was the operation name and it was launched by the Indian Coast Guard. Okay. Now it is talking about the protection of the olive ridley turtles. I hope you must be knowing the difference between a turtle and a tortoise. So turtles are aquatic in nature. Okay. So they will be having more I would say they have rather than feet, you will find they have flippers, okay, which helps them to swim easily. So they are more aquatic. Okay, their domes are not very heavy. And on the other side we have the tortoise. Tortoise are usually land dwelling or terrestrial. So you will find more of tortoise on the land. So they have well developed feet that help them in walking, and along with that they have a heavy dome structure. Okay. So coming to the olive ridley turtles, being the smallest and the most abundant of the sea turtles that you will find, and you will find them across the tropical and the warm waters of the Indian Ocean, Atlantic Ocean and the Pacific Ocean. These are the three major oceans you will find them. Okay, so that is an important point. They are smallest and the most abundant of the turtle species that you will find them. Then coming to the most important striking feature is the mass nesting that they do. That is basically all the females come together on one particular beach and they lay their eggs, and then finally all the eggs hatch and we have the small olive ridley turtles that come out of the eggs. Okay, so this mass nesting site is called, this phenomena is called Aribada, and olive ridleys are famous for this, the synchronized mass nesting events, and this happens specifically in the state of Odisha. You will find it happening at the Gahirmat beach. Important because it is one of the world's largest olive ridley nesting site. Along with that we have the Rushikulya river mouth, that is also another site where you will find the mass nesting happening. So Odisha becomes very important in context to the olive ridley turtle. You can see the mass nesting sites and the other sporadic sites where the olive ridley are nesting. Okay, right. Along with that there are different, they are getting their olive ridley olive color because of course they have the dome or the carapace is olive in color, right. Then the male and females usually are similar in size. Then coming to their dietary patterns, if we see, initially we can say that they are carnivorous when they are in their juvenile stage, वो carnivorous होते हैं, but eventually they become omnivorous. Okay, so they become omnivorous also. So we cannot say that they are primarily carnivorous. We can say initially their dietary habits change because initially वो carnivorous होते हैं, but with time they become omnivorous also. So they can eat both small insects and feed on the grasses and all leafy material as well. Okay. Then UPSC has asked previously multiple questions on olive ridley turtles also, and the IUCN status is vulnerable. Wildlife Protection Act, it is in Schedule 1, meaning highest level of protection is being given to this olive ridley turtle. Okay. So coming to, let us see the question that has been asked on it. Let us see this, this question is from CDS paper 2018. So you can just try to solve this question and answer me in the comment box. Okay. So they are the smallest and most abundant of all sea turtles found in world. They live in the warm waters of Atlantic, Pacific and Indian Ocean. Then there was the Coromandel coast in India is the largest nesting site, mass nesting site for the olive ridley turtle. So you can just try to answer this. Let me see how many of you are giving me the right answer. Coming to the next species is the snow leopard. Okay. So snow leopard, why was it in news? Because the Union Territory of Ladakh records the world's highest snow leopard density. And India के अंदर भी अगर हम देखें तो Ladakh is having the 70% of the population of the snow leopards. Snow leopards you will find highest density in specifically in the Hemis National Park. तो अगर हम Hemis National Park में आए, ठीक है, and then the Kargil and the Leh areas, because this particular region is providing all the basic requirements that are essential for its survival. Less human interference is there. There is a good amount of prey availability that is there. The alpine, resource rich alpine grasslands are there. So all of these conditions make it conducive or habitable for the snow leopards. Okay. And of course then coming to the important features of the snow leopards as well, right. So you will find snow leopards at a high altitude. Of course leopards are all across India, you will find leopards, but snow leopards you will find only in the high altitude regions, right. Specifically अगर हम देखें तो there are 12 countries which are called the snow leopard range countries. So India being one of them, snow leopards are found in India as well. Okay. So साउथ एंड सेंट्रल एशिया के जो मेजर इकोसिस्टम्स है वहाँ पर आपको स्नो लेपर्ड्स मिलेगा, और इंडिया के अगर कॉन्टेक्स्ट में बात करें तो वी आर दी वेस्टर्न हिमालयन स्टेट्स, फॉर एग्जांपल जम्मू कश्मीर, लद्दाख, हिमाचल, उत्तराखंड, सिक्किम, and in the eastern Himalayas we have the Arunachal Pradesh. There you will find the snow leopards. Okay. Then the IUCN status, of course it's vulnerable. Then appendix 1 of CITES, appendix 1 of CMS, that is on the migratory species, and Wildlife Protection Act schedule 1. All of these are the important points that you have to focus. Okay. Talking about its habitat, I told you, you will find it more at the elevation of almost 3000 to 5000 meters. You will find it on the rugged terrains, rocky mountains, hills, and the unique feature here is that it completely camouflages. Okay, so इसकी counting करना भी easy नहीं होता because ये बहुत अच्छे से camouflage हो जाता है with the terrain. Okay, then the smoky grey coat with dark roseates that are there on its body. Along with that, we have its behavior is solitary. Solitary मतलब अकेला रहने पसंद करता है. You will not find them in a group or a herd, okay, or a pride. So snow leopards usually are solitary. They live alone and they are crepuscular. Crepuscular means that they are active during the day, dawn and the dusk time. We have diurnal, we have nocturnal, and we have crepuscular organisms. Diurnal are active during daytime, nocturnal are active during night time, and then we have crepusculars जो dawn and dusk के time पे ज़्यादा active आपको दिखेंगे. So this is the important point that they are crepuscular. Okay, right? Then there's lot of the tail which is it is having. इसकी जो tail होती है, the tail helps in balancing. It plays a very important role. It is thicker and it has a thick fur coat also compared to other leopards that are there, and it has short ears, short extremities, because we know that helps in the heat conservation. So high altitude पे वैसे भी आपको जितने भी animals मिलेंगे, they will have usually shorter ears or shorter extremities to prevent the heat loss. Okay. Then there are a lot of initiatives that are run for its protection. For example, it is one of the flagship species for the high altitude conservation. Then it is India is also a part of the GSLEP. GSLEP is basically the Global Snow Leopard and Ecosystem Protection Program that is there, and India 2013 से इसका member है. यहाँ पर 12 snow leopard range countries हैं. Majorly आपकी Central Asian countries आ गए. Russia is there, Pakistan is there, Kyrgyzstan, Uzbekistan, Bhutan, all of these are here, Mongolia, ठीक है. Then we have Himalaya Sanrakshak program, Secure Himalaya project, then project Snow Leopard also that was launched in 2009, okay, that is there. It is also under the critically endangered species recovery program, and we are also having a breeding program also that is being run at the Darjeeling Zoo. Okay, that is the Padmaja Naidu Himalayan Zoological Park. वहाँ पर we are also having the snow leopard breeding program. Okay, so snow leopard is very important, right? Coming to the next species that we are talking is the Asiatic lion. Asiatic lion, why it was in news? Because the population has increased and it is something good or something to be felt good about, right? So their population in Gujarat has risen from 674 to 891 in 5 years. So this is the data from the 16th lion census that was done in May 2025. So we had the 16th lion census and we have almost 891 Asiatic lions. We can see almost a growth of 30% or 32% growth देखी गई है since 2010, and usually this census is carried out every 5 years. Okay, so every 5 years we are having the lion census. And coming to the other important points and the important location where you will find the Asiatic lions is of course Gujarat, and in Gujarat we have the Gir National Park and the Gir Sanctuary. There you will find the Asiatic lions, and there's a difference between the Asiatic lions and the African counterparts, of course. So African counterparts and the Asiatic counterparts have difference in the physical features also. The African counterparts are usually larger in size. Okay, they have a denser mane. Mane is the hair that is around their head. Okay, so now this census was why it was very important and unique, because it has covered almost 35,000 square kilometer of an area, and this was spread across 11 districts were covered during this census, and almost we can say 55% of the lions that were found were in the forested region, 55% were in the forest region, and we can say 44% we could find in the non-forest land also. Meaning what we can understand from here is that there is a population of the lions that are living or they are having a habitat outside the forest land also. Okay, so that needs to be understood. Entirely forest के अंदर नहीं है. दूसरी चीज जो आपको याद रखनी है वो ये है कि इस बार का जो सेंसस हुआ उसमें हमने डायरेक्ट बीट वेरिफिकेशन मेथड को यूटिलाइज करा. डायरेक्ट बीट verification method whereby the entire forest teams are going and doing the census activity. Along with that, lot of technology has been used, for example camera traps, okay, radio collars, okay, e-Gujarat mobile app was there. All of these things were done or utilized. Okay, and in fact अगर हम बात करें lions के conservation की तो lions का जो conservation था वो start हुआ था I think it was around 1936 or when we had the जूनागढ़ के जो राजा थे उन्होंने कंजर्वेशन स्टार्ट करा था एशियाटिक लायन के लिए. ठीक है. देन कमिंग टू some of the other important features about the Asiatic lions, we also call it the Persian lion or the Indian lion. ठीक है. Panthera leo, ठीक है, belong to the subspecies of the Panthera leo and you will find them, they were prevalent across West Asia, Middle East, Northern India, but now they are solely found in the Indian subcontinent or in India only, and in India you will find them only in the Gir. Okay, slightly smaller than the African counterparts. They have a distinctive belly fold, that's a longitudinal skin fold that you will find on the Indian or the Asiatic lions. ठीक है, एक skin का extra fold होता है. ठीक है, colors of course sandy and buffy grey, that is there. Mane is an important thing. Mane is the hair. Okay, the males have a thinner manes compared to African lions when we are talking. तो mane is the जो बाल उनके head के around होते हैं उनको हम mane कहते हैं. ठीक है, and उनके ears visible रहते हैं because they are having thin mane. Now the IUCN status has been changed. Okay, so earlier the IUCN status was endangered. Now it has been changed to vulnerable. So please mind it, this is important that it is now vulnerable. Schedule 1 and Appendix 1 of Sites and Wildlife Protection Act, that is fine. Okay, IUCN status is vulnerable now. Then you will find them in the Gir National Park and the Gir Sanctuary, and along with that there is the region of the Saurashtra region. वहाँ पर भी आपको हमारे lions, Asiatic lions मिलेंगे. And you will find them, they are usually nocturnal, we can say. You will find them being nocturnal. Along with that, you will find them living in close proximity with the people or the villagers. Okay, and there is a very famous community that is associated with the lions also, that is the Maldhari community. Maldharis, जो आपको खड़ाई camels के केस में भी आपने Maldharis को पढ़ा होगा, तो Maldharis have been living in close proximity with the Asiatic lions also. You will find the Asiatic lion in the bunny grasslands also. ठीक है. Then you will also find along with the Gir sanctuary, there are other sanctuaries also that are in Gujarat where you will find the Asiatic lions. For example, we have just a second. Along with this the Gir region, we also have the Pania Wildlife Sanctuary. Okay, we have the Barda Wildlife Sanctuary and we have the Mityala Wildlife Sanctuary. All these three are the other three sanctuaries that are in Gujarat only, where you will find the Asiatic lions. Okay, then Asiatic lions live in a pride, that's a group. Okay, they can breed throughout the year, so there is no particular condition on them that they have a particular one breeding season. They can breed throughout the year. They live in a group called a pride. Okay, and of course like all the other major animal species, they also leave or markings of their territory by the urine or the other things that are there by the stool. Okay, so they are also marking their territories in the home range. And then we have the Gir National Park. This is the picture of the Maldhari community only, and we have the Gir National Park that is in Junagadh district, and only natural habitat that is there of the Asiatic lion that is remaining. Okay, right? And you have the home to the Maldharis, which are a pastoral community living in this ट्रेडिशनल सेटलमेंट्स जिनको हम नेसेस बोलते हैं. तो जो मालधारी कम्युनिटी के ट्रेडिशनल हाउस होल्ड्स हैं उनको हम नेसेस कहते हैं. ठीक है. UPSC has asked a question in 2024 only again on lions. So now you are in a position to solve this question as well, right? So please try to attempt this question. Chale, next coming to the Great Indian Bustard. Just a second. Great Indian Bustard. Now it was in news because there was a person for a conservationist. Okay, he was very famous for the conservation of the Great Indian Bustard. So he died. Okay, and he was also deeply influenced by the Bishnoi community, right? That is also a very important when we are talking about the environmental conservation. This community has been very important conservationists. Now talking about Great Indian Bustard, which is a very big size bird. Okay, it's a bird and the conservation status here is critically endangered for this bird, and you will find this bird specifically in the region of Gujarat and Rajasthan. Okay, so Rajasthan is the major state. It's the state bird of Rajasthan also, right? And it is one of the most critically endangered birds of India. Then you will find it is considered as one of the flagship species for the grasslands. If we want to know if we want to assess the condition or the status of any grasslands, we can understand by the presence of the Great Indian Bustards. अगर Great Indian Bustards की population decline हो रही है, यानी कि उनके habitat का loss हो रहा है. ठीक है, तो of course we can understand there is some damage or something that is disturbing in this particular grassland region. So आपको जो majorly आपको Great Indian Bustard कहाँ मिलेगा? राजस्थान में मिलेगा, गुजरात में मिलेगा. ठीक है, and there are small populations in Maharashtra, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh as well. Okay, then coming to its protection status, very important. It is critically endangered. It is in CITES Appendix 1, CMS under Appendix 1 and Wildlife Protection Act Schedule 1, highest protection being given. Then coming to the threats that it is facing. Now collision with the towers or the power lines, that is the major thing that it is facing. Okay, then there is hunting, especially in Pakistan. पाकिस्तान में इसकी हंटिंग बहुत होती है. ठीक है, ग्रेट इंडियन बस्टर्ड की. एंड पाकिस्तान में देयर इज अ वेरी फेमस डेजर्ट दैट इज द चोलिस्तान डेजर्ट. वहाँ पर अभी साइटिंग हुई थी चोलिस्तान डेजर्ट के अंदर of the Great Indian Bustard. So that was something of surprise that their population was increasing there. So Cholistan is important. It's in Pakistan. Habitat loss and fragmentation, that is another reason. Along with that, there is one more thing that we need to understand and learn about the Great Indian Bustard is that its reproductive capacity is very low. Okay, so एक तो ये already बहुत eggs बहुत कम lay करता है. ठीक है, so it lays very few eggs and it takes time for the chicken to mature. Okay, for the baby to mature it takes lot of time, right? So they have a low reproductive capacity. So अगर कोई ऐसा organism है जिसकी reproductive capacity कम है, so उसके ऊपर तो ज़्यादा ही threat है, because एक तो population वैसे ही decline हो रही है and then the reproductive capacity is also very less chances of survival, right? And then the other threats that are they are facing constantly, right? So then diverters, the government has also requested to put diverters, bird diverters, so that the birds can be diverted from the region, right? And these are very big, almost 3 feet tall birds are, these are very tall birds, right? And then there are also 4 species of bustards that are found. There are 4 species of bustards, okay, in India. इंडिया के अंदर 4 स्पीशीज हैं बस्टर्ड्स की एंड द 4 ऑफ देम आर फाउंड इन इंडिया. फर्स्ट वन इज द ग्रेट इंडियन बस्टर्ड. ओके, देन वी हैव द लेसर फ्लोरिकन. थर्ड इज बंगाल फ्लोरिकन एंड द फोर्थ वन इज मैक्वीन्स बस्टर्ड. McQueen's bustard, Great Indian bustard, Lesser florican, then we have the Bengal florican, and then we have the McQueen's bustard. Out of this, the first three are endemic to India. Okay, you will find them in India only, in this region. Okay, you will find them in India. Great Indian bustard, Lesser florican, Bengal florican आपको इंडिया में मिलेगा, ठीक है. Then they all three are critically endangered also. All these three are critically endangered. And the last one, the McQueen's bustard. This McQueen's bustard is found in, I would say, the region of the Sinai Peninsula, and up to the Caspian Sea you will find this, okay. And this is vulnerable. And this one is the migratory one, okay. So this is coming by migration, okay. So the McQueen's bustard is found, that's a migratory species, right. Then coming to another important point, that is the Kutch bustard sanctuary, that is in the run of Kutch bustard sanctuary. That is important. Here you will find all the three species of the bustards, okay. It's in the Kutch region, right. So very important. Then coming to the next point, that is the Jaisalmer or the Desert National Park. The Desert National Park is spread across the two districts of Rajasthan, that is Jaisalmer and Barmer, and it is one of the important habitats for the Great Indian bustards. And on this only UPSC had asked a question previously. So that's the question, that you will find India's Desert National Park is spread across how many districts? It's the two districts, Jaisalmer and Barmer, and it's one of the natural habitats for the Great Indian bustards, okay, right. Coming to the next one, that is dugongs. Dugongs, farmers of the sea, India's dugongs must take a conservation priority, okay. Now dugong, you can see the picture, okay, it looks more like a whale, like a structure, okay, but these are herbivorous mammals. They feed on sea grass, okay, the grass that is growing on the sea beds or the ocean beds, sea grass, so they can digest cellulose. ये cellulose को digest कर पाते हैं. They are mammals, okay, and they are herbivorous in nature. They can live up to 70 years. They are usually solitary by nature, अकेले रहना पसंद करते हैं, but sometimes you can find them in herds also, in groups also, specifically in the near the Australian coast, okay. Then they are also known as sea cow. These are all the important points of the dugongs. So you call them as the dugong, that's the scientific name. Then they are commonly called the sea cows. They are the only herbivorous mammals, marine mammals. Then they play an ecological role because of course they are a major part of the marine food chain. Then you will find them across 30 plus countries, okay, in the Gulf of, and in India you will find them in the Gulf of Mannar, Park Bay region, Gulf of Kutch, Andaman Nicobar Islands. And in this Park Bay region and the Gulf of Mannar region, in 2022 the Government of India established the Dugong Conservation Reserve. We established this in the Park Strait or Park Bay region and the Gulf of Mannar region. IUCN status is vulnerable, Schedule 1, Appendix 1 of CITES. Okay. Major threats, of course, the loss of the sea grass beds, of course it is feeding on that. Agar unka loss hoga to they will be dying. Then ocean floor trawling, when we are going across and we are excavating the things from the ocean floor, that time we are excluding or we are rupturing the sea grass that is grown there, and the dugongs are feeding on the sea grass. So that is a major threat. Of course, trawling's effects, their nets, the nets dragged behind the boats damage the sea floor. Okay. Anthropogenic threats, all due to human activities, the pollution, the habitat destruction, the plastic entanglement, choking, all of that can happen. Poaching and hunting is also done for the dugongs also, right. And there's a misbelief as well, they are consumed for their meat as well. तो उनको उनके मीट के लिए भी कंज्यूम किया जाता है, ठीक है. So these are all the challenges that the dugongs are facing. Coming to the conservation steps that have been taken, of course India has been part of the CMS, that is the Conservation on Migratory Species, and under that there are MOUs that have been signed for different species, and out of them there is a MOU that has been signed on dugongs also. So India has been part of that since 2008. Okay, and of course then I told you that we also having the Dugong Conservation Reserve in the Park Bay region. Okay, so this is the region where we are having the conservation reserve for the dugongs. Okay. Coming to the next species, so this is a question that has been asked again on the in UPSC only on dugongs. So again you will solve this question, right? Coming to the next one, that is the Indian grey wolf. Now why were they in news? Because in Maharashtra's Kadanbadi grassland, the already endangered Indian grey wolf is now at an added risk from the dogs that are attacking their pups and the weak members of the pack. जो वुल्फ्स होती हैं उनके जो ग्रुप होते हैं उसको हम पैक बोलते हैं, पैक ऑफ वुल्फ्स. ओके, सो द इन द काबनवाड़ी दिस काडनबाड़ी ग्रासलैंड जो है, इन दिस रीजन देयर वाज अ पॉपुलेशन ऑफ द वुल्फ्स, इंडियन ग्रे वुल्फ, विच आर ऑलरेडी एंडेंजर्ड. बट द इशू हियर इज दैट यहाँ पर जो डॉग्स हैं, जो डोमेस्टिकेटेड डॉग्स हैं या स्ट्रे डॉग्स या कम्युनिटी डॉग्स हैं, उनकी वजह से देयर इज अ लॉट ऑफ थ्रेट टू देयर cubs and the weak members of their packs, right? So this is what they have highlighted. So protection status is least concern globally, but India के perspective में देखेंगे तो it is endangered, right? Schedule 1 of Appendix Schedule 1 of Wildlife Protection Act and Appendix 1 of the sites. ठीक है. Now its native अगर range देखें तो it is Southwest Asia to the subcontinent or the Indian subcontinent. You will find the Indian grey wolf. Israel से इंडिया तक you will find the Indian grey wolf. ठीक है. स्क्रब लैंड्स जो होते हैं, सेमी ग्रासलैंड्स, सेमी एरिड ग्रासलैंड्स होते हैं, वहाँ पर आपको मिलेगी. ठीक है. एपेक्स प्रेडेटर की तरह काम करते हैं because they feed on the flesh, they consume, of course it's a wolf. Okay, they are nocturnal, they are found in small packs, small groups, and they are less vocal compared to other wolf species. You must have heard the wolf making a noise. Okay, so अगर हम बाकी wolves के comparison में देखें तो this wolf is less vocal. Okay, important point है ये इसका. Intermediate size, shorter and thinner coat, that's absolutely fine, right? But the major threats is from the feral and the free ranging dogs, habitat loss and fragmentation, and along with that the human and animal conflict that is there. Okay, so these are the important points related to the Indian grey wolf, right? Then we also have Mahadanur Wildlife Sanctuary in Jharkhand. That is important, that you can remember. Mahadanur Wildlife Sanctuary in Jharkhand, where you will find a good amount of population of the Indian grey wolf. Okay, you will find them in a good number in Jharkhand's wildlife sanctuary. So this sanctuary was also in news. Coming to the next one, these are small important updates. Just European red admiral butterfly. Okay, so it's basically it has been recorded for the first time in India. So European red admiral butterfly recorded in India. It has been recorded in which region? In the Dhualdar mountain ranges of Himachal Pradesh. ठीक है. It resembles the Indian red admiral. Already there was an Indian red admiral. It's a butterfly. आपको इतना तो याद रखना है कि it's a butterfly. ठीक है. And there's a difference between the European and the Indian red admiral. It is basically that there is a difference in the spots or the color that are there on its wings. Okay, so it has narrower, deeper crimson discal bands, these ones, and then the prominent white spots that are there. Okay, and there's a very important point, that is the host plant on which the larvae are living. So the larva host plant is a specific stinging nettle plant. वो ये जो प्लांट है ये कहाँ पाया जाता है? इट इज़ फाउंड इन दी वेस्टर्न हिमालयाज ओनली. सो मेजरली वेस्टर्न हिमालयाज में पाया जाता है द होस्ट प्लांट, जिसके ऊपर इट विल कीप इट्स लावाज विल बी देयर एंड लावाज विल बी डेवलपिंग एंड फाइनली लाइफ साइकिल वुड बी कंप्लीटेड एंड द बटरफ्लाई विल कम आउट. So larval host plant is the the stinging nettle plant. Okay, and prefers the moist areas, urban edges and the disturbed landscapes. So it's a butterfly species. European red admiral is a migratory one, ठीक है, and the Indian red admiral was initially found in India only. Okay, right. Then coming to the next one, that is the red crowned roofed turtle. red crowned roof turtle returns to the Ganga after 30 years. So after 30 years we could spot the red crowned roof turtle. Okay, so this turtle is called Batagur kachua. ठीक है, बटुगुर कछुआ भी कहते हैं इसको. It is a fresh water turtle, very important. Also called the Bengal roof turtle. It's endemic to the South Asian region. You will find it native to India, Bangladesh and Nepal. ठीक है, हिस्टोरिकली अगर हम देखें तो ये पूरा जो गंगा रिवर सिस्टम है उसमें it was found India and Bangladesh, but now only a viable population is found in the National Chambal River घड़ियाल Sanctuary. तो अब ये आपको नेशनल चंबल रिवर घड़ियाल सेंचुरी के अंदर ही इसकी वायबल पॉपुलेशन मिलेगी. ठीक है, पहले ब्रह्मपुत्रा बेसन रिवर, गंगा रिवर बेसन, उसमें दोनों में था, बट नाउ इट इज फाउंड इन दी गंगा इन दिस चंबल रिवर सेंचुरी. ओके, देन इट इज क्रिटिकली एंडेंजर्ड. देन वाइल्ड लाइफ प्रोटेक्शन एक्ट शेड्यूल 1 एंड साइट्स अपेंडिक्स 2. Right, so it has a red color of a structure near its neck part. So this part, it has a reddish color. That is why it has the name as red crowned roofed turtle or the Batagur kachua. ठीक है, या फिर इसको बंगाल रूफ टर्टल भी कहते हैं. ठीक है, इट्स अ फ्रेश वाटर टर्टल, मीनिंग फ्रेश वाटर कहाँ होगा, रिवर्स में होगा, तो इट विल बी फाउंड इन दी रिवर्स. So it's there, medium size. Okay, then we have its males are significantly smaller than the females, reddish orange head with the black crown, hence its name is that. It has its diet is omnivorous. Now why I am showing you every time the turtles and the tortoise, they are asking omnivores, carnivores. So in 2019 they asked one question also. Some species of turtles are herbivorous. Some species of fishes are herbivorous, some species of marine mammals are herbivorous, and some species of snakes are viviparous. So these are all extreme cases. Okay, we cannot go into the forest and the oceans and explore each and every species. So there might be any species जो हो carnivorous हो या वो herbivorous हो. So here all the statements will be right. Okay, so that is why I am saying that be careful while you are studying the dietary habits of these species as well. So this is how UPSC is asking questions. Coming to the last second last one, that is the Calotis zola king. Okay, it's a lizard. Okay, Calotis are what? They are a type of lizards, and this has been cited, for example this has been cited for the first time outside Mizoram. So initially इसको कहाँ देखा गया है, मिजोरम में हमेशा से दिखती थी, बट अभी इसको पहली बार आउटसाइड मिजोरम मेघालय में स्पॉट किया गया. Right, so it's a rare garden lizard. It's a garden lizard, first described in 2019 from Mizoram. Now it has been found in cited in Meghalaya. बस आपको इतना ध्यान रखना है. ठीक है, there are various shades of green that you will find on this Calotis, and there are almost, we can say, 14 species of Calotis that are there in India, and out of that 9 species are found in northeast India. Okay, so they have sharp structure, okay, on its body. 14 Calotis species are there and 9 are recorded in India. Habitat, they are arboreal. Arboreal मतलब tree dwelling, tree पे रहने वाले वो होते हैं arboreal. ठीक है, they are diurnal meaning active during day, fast runners, they can swim very easily, and whenever there is a stressful condition or they are excited, their color changes very fastly. Okay, so they can change their color. There is an extreme color change that happens on their body during the condition, during situations of stress or excitement. Okay, you will find them in Sri Lanka, India, Southeast Asia and the Pacific Islands. Fine. Then coming to the diet is insects and small invertebrates. That is the feeding habit of the Calotis. ठीक है, तो Calotis में आपको क्या रखना है, इट्स अ लिजर्ड, इट्स अ गार्डन लिजर्ड. मिजोरम में फाउंड हुआ था उससे पहले और अभी मेघालय में स्पॉट किया. 14 टाइप के Calotis इंडिया के अंदर हैं, जिसमें से 9 जो है वो नॉर्थ ईस्ट इंडिया में फाउंड है. ठीक है, एंड दे हैव कलर चेंजिंग एबिलिटी. आपको भी पता है ये, दैट्स वेरी बेसिक कॉमन थिंग दैट वी हैव विटनेस्ड इन दी लिजर्ड्स. सो दे कैन change their color and they are arboreal meaning tree dwelling. Coming to the last one, that is Caliphate cyanofructa. Okay, so what is this? New Dem's fly, the species Caliphate cyanofructa, discovered in Arunachal Pradesh. So it's a fly, okay, that has been discovered in the upper Siang and the lower Dibang valley of Arunachal Pradesh. इसका अभी नेम जो प्रपोज करा गया है वो है bearded bronzeback. Okay, bearded bronzeback is the name that has been proposed. अभी तक साइंटिफिक नेम शायद इसका वो नहीं करा गया है, डिसाइड नहीं किया गया है. Only the second species of the genus Caliphate that has been recorded in India. Okay, and the last Indian record जो था वो 165 years ago था of this particular Caliphate genus. ठीक है, so this becomes important. It is small रॉकी सीजनल स्ट्रीम्स या ब्रॉड लीफ एवरग्रीन फॉरेस्ट में ये पाया जाता है. ठीक है, इट इज फ्लाइज लो ओवर द वाटर, पर्चेज ऑन द वेजिटेशन इन dappled sunlight. ठीक है, सो यू जस्ट नीड टू नो दैट इट्स अ फ्लाई found after discovered in Arunachal Pradesh after almost we can say 165 years, right? So that's all about these major species that are there in the month of May. Let us meet in the next session, and by that time please answer all the questions that are there in the series that we have covered. Thank you very much. Keep learning and keep revising. See you all in the next session. If you have any doubt, please mention in the comment box. I will definitely reply to that. Thank you very much.